Right, looking at blocking your work with crochet. I usually block with cold water spray bottle, and I have done a little video on that. I don't often block, but occasionally you might have something like this. This is supposed to be a star, and it looks more like a starfish because it's got curly ends. So if it was acrylic, the cold water is apparently the best. If there's wool in your yarn, then you can steam them. So I'm going to attempt to do this now. It's a bit scary. You don't want to touch your work with your steam iron. If you touch the work, you will flatten it, and that won't be good. So you need to get an iron, fill it with water, put it on the hotter steam it will do. Just turn mine up a little bit there. And then you're going to pass the steam iron over your work. You're not going to touch it. It needs to be around about 3 centimeters, that's just over an inch away from your work. Now you need to pin it in place first. So I've got a few pins here. So pin it in whichever position you want that to stay. Okay, so that's a little bit wonky, so I'm going to put that there. That one can go there. And pinning onto an ironing board, you can use a cork board or whatever really you've got. So I pinned that out. So I got my iron, so let's give this a go. So I'm letting the steam now. The heat and the steam, apparently, I've been told. We'll let this go. So I steamed it for about 10 seconds. And then we'll have to wait for it to cool. I'm tempted to have a go with this other one as well. I'll pin that out now while that's cooling. Now, the red one, it is acrylic, so I'm not sure if that will work as well, but we'll give it a little try. So I'm going to pass the steam iron over it. Hopefully getting lots of heat and steam into it. And then we need to let it cool down. So this one's had a minute or two to cool down, so I'm going to take the pins out of that. And that's lying lovely. That's lying lovely and flat now, isn't it? So that's worked for that one. So that's the steam one. This one now, that's still warm. Okay, so let's take the pins out of this one now. And that seems to have flattened that quite well as well. It flattens the curves, but it doesn't flatten the wool. If you actually touched it with the iron, it would flatten the wool, and that wouldn't look good. So it's not actually flattening the yarn or the wool, but it does flatten the work. So that, hope that helps. Bye.